Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I'm Randy, and this is a two-prong video. One, I'm going to show some vinyl finds that I've recently picked up, and also talk about the trip that I took to Tulsa, Oklahoma, actually last Thursday, so it's been a week now. But I met up with Glen from The Basement and Steve from All the World's a Stage, and we went to the Bob Dylan Center there in Tulsa, and it was great. It was a great experience. It was great to meet Steve and Glen. It's just like we knew each other for forever. We just got together and we could talk. We could talk for hours about anything. I think some of the restaurants probably wanted us to get out of there as we were talking so long. But great to meet up with those guys. Two great individuals. I'm going to put links below to their channels. But you probably, if you're subscribed to me, you probably already subscribed to them. But and I want to say the Bob Dylan Center, for anyone that's a Bob Dylan fan, it's a must-see. Or if you're a folk music fan, because the Woody Guthrie Museum is right next door. And both of them were very interesting museums. The Bob Dylan center has some great employees there. They're really interested in having you have a great experience there. And it's 2 floors. Some great films and some great exhibits. Like I said, if you're not a big Bob Dylan fan, I don't know if it would interest you as much, but I think if you're a Dylan fan, you have to go see it. Another thing I might say about the museum is you had headphones on, and then you had a little device that you would point at the different exhibits, and it would play music or tell the story of a certain item. It was really cool because I mean, you could go all over. You could spend all day there if you so desired. Another cool thing was the Elvis Costello curated jukebox, Bob Dylan tunes and Bob Dylan influences and Bob Dylan covers. It was really unique. I mean, you could spend all day listening to music there as well. But just an amazing museum, I thought. And then right next door, if you're a folk fan, you should go as well. To seeing Bob Dylan's early years as a folk artist, and also right next door I said is the Woody Guthrie Museum, which was a nice experience as well, especially if you're into folk music. But both of them were very worthwhile. And Steve and I went to a record store before Glenn was out doing something with his daughter. Glenn was in town because of his daughter, who works for WWE as a photographer, and then we met up later and went to the same record store again, another record store. So we did do some record shopping there as well. And also in the Bob Dylan Center, I bought a sweatshirt, which is in the wash right now, and I got this kind of jean jacket. As the Bob Dylan from the Rolling Thunder Review on the back. And they also gave me a free calendar, which was pretty nice of them. But got 2 months left of it because it's a 2023 calendar. But just a great experience. Employees were great there, like I said, and so many great exhibits. Kind of a sad tie-in to Tulsa is that I just learned today that Dwight Twilley, par pop icon, born in Tulsa, and also died yesterday in Tulsa, from what I understand. Dwight Twilley Band, this is the debut album, Sincerely, which if you're a power pop fan, this is a must. It should be in your collection. Has his biggest song, I'm on Fire, on here. But yeah, just a great artist that we unfortunately just recently lost on Shelter Records. This one was. That was not a recent pickup. It's just something I'll probably be playing today, unfortunately, because of his recent passing. So I'm going to get to some of the albums I've recently picked up. One of them is this album, Black Acid Soul, which came out in 2021 by Lady Blackbird, who is actually Marley Monroe is her name. And she's going with Lady Blackbird now. Kind of understated piano and other instruments with Monroe's raw and soulful voice. just an amazing album. And kind of got a custom label, Black Acid Soul. Really beautiful album. Next I have from Golden Earring, their album Cut from 1982. Has the big hit Twilight Zone on there. But some other just great some great hooks on here with this songs such as Ball and Chain, The Devil Made Me Do It. I really like that album. And it was on the 21 Records label. Another album I picked up actually quite a while ago, but I've never shown it. And it's the album Mondo Drag, The Occultation of Light. When I found it, I thought this was something that Steve at All the World is a Stage might like, and from what I understand, he does. And this album came out in 2015. It's been called Neo Psych or Neo Prog. It's just a good rock album. They're from Davenport, Iowa areas where they were formed. And this is on green vinyl on Writing Easy Records, which puts out a lot of good rock stuff. So anyway, Mondo Drag, you should check them out if you haven't heard of them before. Next I found this. I'm trying to complete my XTC collection. This is their album English Settlement, which Glen Calloway, which I met this last weekend. It's his favorite XTC album. I think there's still a couple others that I like more, but this does have my favorite tune on it, and since it's working overtime. Got some great songs on there on the Epic label. And next is Steve Bader's, his album Disconnected. This one was, I think, a reissue on Bump Records. He was the leader of the Dead Boys, lead singer of the Dead Boys, the punk rock group. This is more punkish power pop, is what I would call it. But interesting album. He's got that snarly voice, but kind of pop rock sounds. And this is on kind of this yellow colored vinyl. And we were speaking of Bob Dylan. I did pick up his latest, Shadow Kingdom. This came out this year, and it's kind of a reimagining of a lot of his classic tunes. It was a show it was a kind of a live studio concert captured for film in black and white. Kind of, like I said, updated versions of some of his classic tunes. He's in fine voice in this. And it's on 3 sides, and on the 4th side is this etching. I don't know if you can see it very well. I like it. He's been doing lately on the kind of the 78 style Columbia labels, but yeah, really good. I really enjoyed like I said, Bob's in fine form on these. Shadow Kingdom. And then I always say I never find anything at thrift stores, but I did find a sealed copy of Bob Dylan's Don't Look Back. So, did find something. Anyway, this is not records. I usually don't have any success there. I'd also like to show you what I picked up record shopping with Steve and Glen in Tulsa. Now, if you have seen Steve's recent live stream that he does on, I think, every other Sunday with Marsha P. and Trevor from Trevor's Flat Round and Spun, then you've probably already seen them. He invited Glen and I to come on the show, and I showed what I picked up there, but if you haven't seen that, then I'll show you here too, so it'll be a repeat. But I'll try to go through it quickly. I picked up, and the record store we went to is Studio Records in Tulsa, which I thought had very fair prices. It's a little kind of almost an industrial area, but you can see this was only $4. But anyway, Paul Kelly, Under the Sun, which is probably my favorite album of his, Australian rocker, and this was the record I would recommend if you wanted to check him out. And it was on the A&M label, at least here in the U.S. I also picked up Curtis Mayfield's album, just entitled Curtis. And it does have the song, "If There's a Hell Below, We're All Gonna Go," but I really like that tune. But yeah, Curtis Mayfield on Curto Records. And one I don't think I have, because I have a lot of Jerry Lee Lewis albums, but I wasn't sure if I had this one. Touching Home. At least if I have it, it's a different cover than this, because I've never seen this one anyway. On the Mercury label, but gotta have everything by Jerry Lee. Also picked up Blue Oyster Cult, The Revolution by Night, one that I didn't have of theirs, which is kind of a nice inner there on the Columbia label. Joan Armatrading, Walk Under Ladders. And this is on the A&M label as well. If you like Tracy Chapman, I think you would enjoy Joan Armatrading. Really love her music. This is only $3. These are in fine condition too. Also picked up my first Wishbone Ash, trying to get on Steve from All the World of Stage Good Side. So this was the one I picked up. And then we went to a Josie Records later on, and I'm not sure if they're a chain because there's a Josie Records here in Kansas City. So anyway, but I picked up Argus. I guess is known as maybe Wishbone Ash's best record. So I'm really going to get my Wishbone Ash listening in here. Also picked up another Australian band, the Hoodoo Gurus. I have like the Paul Kelly. I had that one on CD, and I had this one on CD as well. But one of my favorite albums by the Hoodoo Gurus. And they were on the Elektra label. And then a sealed copy for just $13 of Nick Waterhouse album Holly, which this is my third album by him. He's kind of R&B, loungy. He's really hard to describe, but I would suggest you check him out if any of that sounds good to you. But yeah, Nick Waterhouse. And then another one for Steve, because I guess this is his favorite group, or one of his favorite groups. I finally picked up a Black Sabbath album. They had that thing recently where it said, artists that you don't have anything by them in your collection. One of them I said was Black Sabbath, which now I do. But I said Black Sabbath, and I can't remember the other one I said. That it wasn't because I wasn't interested or didn't like them. I just never had anything by them, and now I do. So anyway, that's the stuff I picked up lately. Hope everyone's doing well, and I will talk with everyone later.